My name's Dave DeBow, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content. So artificial intelligence is the big thing these days, you guys. You're aware of that. It has been for the last couple of years, and it's definitely making its way into real estate in many, many ways. And today's guest, Kevin Krone, knows all about real estate. He knows all about AI, and he knows how to integrate the two. So Kevin, welcome to the show. Great to have you.
Thanks. Excited to be here and chatting about some of my favorite subjects.
So give us a little snapshot of what you do day to day as of right now. We're August 2025. What does the real estate side of things look like? How does the AI side of things work? Kind of give us a snapshot of Kevin Krone.
Sure. So I recently joined a new firm and work in essentially institutional private equity focused on residential homes. So that's providing equity to home builders at certain phases of the investment to reduce risk for the home builder, while creating a return for institutional partners looking to invest in residential real estate on an institutional scale. So that's what I'm doing right now. And it's the firm called IHP. And should we hop into...
Sure. Yeah, sorry about that, Kevin. You broke up for us for a second there. So what's the name of the company you're working with now?
Oh, I work with a firm called IHP Capital Partners. They're a institutional investor in residential equity.
Right. Okay. I think we got that before you broke up. So good. So what is your position in the company? How are you helping them out? And what does AI have to do with everything?
Sure. So, I joined them recently just in an analysis capacity. I would say a pretty junior role. Given semi-recent graduation from an MBA program, but I'm new to the product type of real estate, of a residential real estate, I should say, and how I've been kind of wedging my foot in the door / making a name is in studying and researching the use of AI in real estate to be able to kind of round out my skill set as I adjust to the new product type of residential real estate. And so
what does that look like for you?
Sure. And so what I've been doing is researching off-the-shelf tools, no coding, no technical experience required. These are intuitive products that I'm researching. And right now I'm doing demos because I'm pretty new to the firm, but I have deployed a few AI agents with some prior companies as well as some other third parties. But currently at IHP, it's mainly a focus on ChatGPT. And right now, honestly, as I'm getting into it, it's been pretty brief, at least at IHP, just because it's mainly investor reporting.
Well, let's not worry about IHP then. Let's talk about how you've integrated AI with real estate and real estate investors in general then.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I've given talks to some of the largest PE firms out there, educating them on how they can deploy AI agents in their business. And it really starts, I would say mainly actually in asset management, which is where I really cut my teeth in real estate, where there are now AI agents out there that can communicate via text, voice, which is calling, and email for everything from leasing assistant capabilities like scheduling tours and providing site information for multifamily buildings, all the way through to collecting rent, calling tenants that are delinquent on rent, as well as doing lease abstracts and other what I'll call asset management activities, which is pretty operations heavy. So if we were to break AI down into its core function, if you were to think about a kind of traditional corporate structure, I look at AI as an enhancement for operations. And so in asset management,
so walk me through an example there, if you don't mind, Kevin. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking of, okay, if you got an AI agent calling somebody to collect rent, what does that look like? What does that sound like? What's the AI agent able to do?
So the feedback I heard historically was that people cannot tell the difference between a human or a person making that phone call to collect rent after the first of the month, and this AI agent. So you have essentially a back end which you can connect to Yardi or other property management software, and it'll make the call, it'll make the text and email, maybe not all at the same time, but it'll have this chain of communication where it would be indiscernible from maybe a leasing agent in the office. And it sounds exactly like a smooth conversational voice where they ask you if you've plans to pay your, rent as it is due or it's past due. And it encourages them to make a payment as soon as possible. And it's not like it's taking credit card information over the phone, but it is increasing the number of touch points beyond what maybe your leasing team, which could be busy with on-site tours or other maintenance, not true maintenance, but leasing maintenance, if you will. That frees up their time because now you have other additional capacity to make these calls and send these emails.
Plus, this additional capacity doesn't get his feelings hurt when somebody tells it off on the phone.
Yeah, at least the AI right now says, I will not respond to that, which is maybe some of the nicer responses. I don't know if you've ever told your leasing agent off. I assume not. I haven't, but I feel like mine would not be so forgiving.
Yeah, most definitely. Okay, cool. That kind of paints a picture of a little bit of the capability there. So how can you see AI working for smaller operators, Kevin? I know you got a ton of experience working with the big guys and institutional equity and that kind of thing. But if you're a mom and pop investor, uh, say even single family homes or small multifamilies, that sort of thing, what would you recommend as being like the first baby steps with AI?
Well, I think the best big step is a mom and pop investor. Let's say starting from low experience to high experience. From low experience, you're able to essentially use ChatGPT as an alternative to Google search. And so you can ask fairly structured questions specific to your situation and receive cited sources, along with the feedback from the ChatGPT to enable to learn. It'll enable the investors to learn more about reading contracts, maybe traditional or normal circumstances of how deals close, in addition to saving you tons of money on preparing investment proposals, creating graphics, a lot of the creative work that goes along with either marketing a property or even searching for a property. So, I think this is a really cool one. It's a recent advancement in that ChatGPT came out with an agent where you can have a leads list and you can tell the ChatGPT agent to go into your Gmail, email the leads list based on a table in Google Sheets, and it'll contextually bring over descriptions, address, anything in the Google Sheet, and it'll draft the email right at gmail.com.
Wow.
And that's ChatGPT agent. So for $20 a month, you'll get about 2 to 3 hours of agent time. And so that's enough to send 20, 40, 60 emails where you do nothing. You just have a table of a leads list. And you could then technically get more than one subscription. So it comes out to about 27 subscriptions will get you about 80 hours of agent time, that's a full 2-week, employment schedule for only about $500 a month. $541, I think, is what the math came out to. Now you have like a full marketing assistant as a mom and pop shop. So that's on the kind of inexperienced side, is lead generation, sending emails, really building up your base of operations as what I'll call a mom and pop investor if you have plans to scale. And then you're slightly more experienced investor. So I have an agent on my own computer. It's actually an Excel agent I programmed, and it has a formula mode where if I'm modeling out like a deal, could be kind of complicated, I can paste the formula in along with the phrase formula mode, and it'll give me step-by-step instructions of how to debug my formulas in Excel, each formula I provide. And so now you're talking about going beyond your existing modeling capabilities using ChatGPT. It won't fully underwrite your model yet, but it will take formula by formula and tell you how to make a working model. I don't want to say cell by cell because it sounds like a lot of work, but if you
Mm.
have a few spot issues in your model, it will help you clean it up for sure.
What other tools are you using in addition to ChatGPT?
I'll say that is one of the stronger ones with the agents that can operate a computer browser. It's got the text generation. Now it can read your email in OneDrive folders so that it can provide contextual information to you. Um, Another tool that I would say, there's a really cool tool out there. This is perfect for residential, but works for multifamily and institutional as well. It's called Near Maps, and they have an offering that called Better View. It's a product, and they can fly a drone over a 1,000 unit completed master plan community, and they can give you an assessment as to the age of your roof, if it noticed waters pooling up on any of the roofs, if you have trees encumbering that look like they could potentially lead to future damage. And so you're using essentially what's called computer vision, where you're providing the AI the ability to see, and it's doing an analysis on all of the drone footage you provide. And it's usually used by insurance underwriters
Mm-hmm.
because the roof is one of the most expensive fixes. And instead of sending someone up on a ladder, now it's, one drone. Maybe it takes 30 minutes to fly the community, and then you just load it into the AI software, and it'll tell you which roofs are most likely to fail first.
That's so wild. It's a
Isn't it?
crazy, crazy new world with all this stuff that's coming up. So where do you see yourself and AI going over the next 12 months or so, Kevin?
Ooh, 12 months.
Let's say
Frameworks,
6 months because things change so fast in AI. 12 months is too far out. Let's give you 6 months. How
I
about
think,
that?
I think the current trajectory is everyone has these AI agents, but it's kind of like one-on-one. And the next step will be you can have so I have an Excel agent that I want to be able to connect to my presentation making agent so I
Yeah.
can bring the data into the presentation. And the thought process is, why can't you just have one agent that does it all?
Hmm.
And the truth is, it's a new technology, but human nature will never change. And so you need to have these, even if it's different agents, these disciplines where you can focus on maybe one on finance, one on marketing, one on operations, and the agents will start to talk to each other.
Hmm.
So I have a marketing consultant friend that created, an automation that can automatically post to like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook automatically. So it'll generate the picture, the thumbnail. It'll auto generate the text based on their notes. And then it'll automatically on a schedule post to social media. And that, they said, is about 60% of like an average marketing campaign, is to the point where they're just automating it with no clicks, no touch. They just need to have essentially an Excel table with title and notes. You don't technically need title, but it's easier if you have title and notes for each blog, and it would automate the entire blog pipeline for the foreseeable future. And so the agents are going to start talking to each other, and they'll be accomplishing more complicated tasks, but we don't know how far that will go because we don't know how many AI based microchips are available on the market, and that's the limiting factor.
Hey there, if you're a capital raiser, a syndicator, or a fund manager, and you're looking for a steady flow of incoming accredited investor leads, then go ahead, grab a free copy of my new book, How to Get 20 Accredited Investor Meetings Every Month Without Cold Calling, Networking, or Chasing People. You can get that at 20accreditedinvestorsbook.com. Again, that's the number 20accreditedinvestorsbook.com. Yeah. I kind of wonder if it's going to get, well, I don't know. This is a personal observation. In certain respects, I think ChatGPT is getting dumber. Um, I know that
I've
sounds
heard that.
terrible to sounds terrible
I've
to
heard
see,
that a
but
lot, actually.
but I think it's just feeding on its own generated content. So it's almost like that movie Clone from years ago or whatever. Like each version just gets
I
dumber
think
and
I've
dumber
seen
and
that.
dumber.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I notice I have to be so careful. I work with ChatGPT all the time as well, but I'll tell it to do something and it will spit out complete crap. Even when I tell it, like for example, interview
Yeah.
transcripts and things like that, it'll just go off on its own tangent, make stuff up. And if I'm not paying attention, it could be disastrous. So I have to kind of get it reined back in. Have you seen any challenges with that yourself?
Yeah. So I guess I would have one perspective, but 2 points to make on that. It definitely happens. So ChatGPT has already consumed all information that's ever existed in their model, and whether it can access it is different. But they've trained it, so it's a slight nuance. I won't get into the technicality of it, but basically they've trained it on that data, on all data, and so there's technically no more data. So they're looking for new data, which is why they keep scraping newspapers and your more recent current events, because they need more data to train it on. So the next step from
More
there, like
real
phase
data,
two of that,
hopefully.
right, real data. So I
Yeah.
would say in like 6 to 12 months, believe it or not, like simulated data, both visual and non-visual, like data on your computer, like text and stuff, is actually going to be simulated to train these models, because there's literally no other information available on Earth as a whole for it to read unless it's offline on paper. So that's the first thing, is the training. The reason that happens is because the training materials have all been read already, and so
Mhm.
they're NVIDIA and ChatGPT and OpenAI. They're looking for ways to simulate information, which sounds crazy. It's more related to like driving and robotics, which is like the next phase of AI. And then, but to keep it local to the point we're talking about, to fix kind of the crapshoot answer you might receive, if you're doing a lot of prompts in a single window, if you get to a good stopping point, I recommend open a new prompt, like a new prompt window. Start from the beginning, not in terms of your work, but in terms of that prompt window. Open a new one and put your most recent output from either ChatGPT or yourself to start the chat over, and it'll reduce a lot of that circular noise, because the memory is good, but it essentially doesn't know which parts of its memory are more important. So
Mm.
if you need to do like 30 revisions on an essay, by the time you get to revision 30, you'll have an unusable product as
Yeah,
of right now.
got it. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Kevin, thank you very much for your insights. If people would like to connect with you, what should they do? Where should they go?
Oh, I recommend everyone reach out on LinkedIn. I've got a great presentation which actually highlights a few of the products we chatted about on our call today. And I look forward to helping anyone who's deploying an agent in the workplace.
So Kevin Krone on LinkedIn. Are you the only one, or how do they know it's you?
Yeah, there's actually only two in America. The other one's the CEO of a home building company, coincidentally, but you'll see my face, and it should say AI and real estate in the bio. It'll be pretty obvious.
Perfect. Thanks, Kevin. I appreciate your insights.
Thanks for having me on today, and look forward to seeing how people use the tools.
All right, everybody, take care, and we'll see you on the next one. Hey there, I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewsyou.com.